So let's finish off the face here. And the first thing we want to do is add the second ear. I added one ear right here. So basically what you're going to do is take your needle, and you can see that I've done this before. I use this one in my workshops all the time. So these stitches are kind of pulled up, but basically you're just going to insert the tip of your needle under two halves of the stitch. And I usually, so a stitch is a V shape, and I usually insert the needle under the right leg of the stitch. So do two in a row, just kind of right where the color changes, and then you don't have a lot of space to work with here, so just kind of off to the side. You know, it doesn't have to be too scientific or anything. Just get two loops on your needle there, and it's actually in the face color that you're going to pick up. And then you're just going to bring your working, whatever color you want to make your ear, and I'll just use kind of this creamy white for this ear. And you're going to just start working 2 rows of an I-cord. So I'm going to just go ahead and knit these 2 stitches. I kind of hang on to that end here with my hand to make sure it doesn't get too loose, but that stitch always gets a little bit loose now when you come back to it. And then you're going to do, that was 1, and then this is 2 rows of an I-cord. And now I'm going to bind off. So I'm going to go knit the 2 stitches. Then I'm going to go ahead and pass that one over and off, and I have 1 stitch left, and that's going to be my ear. Now let me show you how to finish that off so that it looks like an ear, because it looks pretty goofy right now. So what you're going to do is cut the yarn, and then you just pull the end through that remaining stitch and kind of pull it down a little bit, because I kind of want to get it shaped a bit. I'm going to take the end that we started with and get rid of that one so it's not in the way here, but just kind of send that into the inside of the toy and bring it out to the back here, and then you can just trim it off. Just always be really careful you're not cutting something you don't want to cut when you snip those ends. And then it still looks a little goofy here. I guess on the other ones you can see I use the face color for the ears, but I'm not doing that here, so just make note of that. Usually you use the face color. This kind of blends in a little bit too much with the twisties. All right, so what you're going to do to get rid of this end is just kind of weave that in going down the ear toward the toy, toward the base of the ear. So I'm just kind of going through a stitch and bringing it down, and then that even really helps to shape that ear. You can give it kind of a tug and it will shape it so it kind of curls out to the side. So you can see here how that kind of curled out to the side. And that's it. That's the ear. Now let's quickly do, so this sheep has 2 different color ears, so it's kind of a unusual guy. All right, now we're going to go ahead and do the face, and I love how it's kind of funny. They're all a little bit different here, but basically you're just taking 2 tiny straight stitches, and then you're making a V for the nose. So when I do a face, I always start with the eyes, and I come in kind of down. I'm just using it's like a crochet cotton thread, but you could use an embroidery floss or you know, whatever you'd like to use, whatever you have on hand. I just pull in from the side here, and I'm just going to make 2 little straight stitches. So I just kind of go over 1 stitch, and then I'm going to scoop under some of the stuffing there and come out on the other side just below the ear. I'm not going to take too much time to make sure it's perfect, but you can do that. You can't really go too wrong with this little toy. And then I go over a stitch, and I'm going to bring the end out here to the back. I always do the eyes in 1 thread, and then I do the mouth or the nose or whatever in another thread. So then you're going to trim these off and kind of squeeze the toy so those pop inside. So now I have 2 eyes, and then I'm going to come in from the side again, and I always use that center hole as a good place to kind of line up your nose here. And we're just going to make a V, so it's 2 straight stitches. There's 1. Then I'll just bring it down here, and that's it. That's the easiest face ever, I think, on a toy. there you have it. And then again, you're just going to take your scissors and do a trim. Now if you're worried about the face coming out, you can always secure that, and I have another video. If you type in on YouTube Susan B. Anderson face embroidery, I do a whole demonstration on how to make a knot and kind of bury it with the embroidery thread, so you can check that out if you'd like to. And there you go.